I've been working with Harrison, Nigel and Chikara on doing these musical connection events online, using music to help us feel a little bit better and connect with other people.
And doesn't it show what music and the strength of spirit can do for us, all of us, for our well-being?
It's been so revitalising and energetic to see a lot of you connect with us and see you all moving with us and enjoying the music.
We've got some fantastic musicians and singers giving up their time for you.
And music can be helpful. People can get stuck, both in their emotions and in their bodies. We are looking to give beautiful, enlivening emotional journeys.
I love the idea of listening to music with your whole body. Even our relationships are our bodies in relationship to other people.
This isn't wishy-washy new age stuff. It's got really good science behind it, and it works, and it has no side effects. I really enjoy these evenings and look forward to many more.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Wellbeing Live Connection Through Music. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Following on from last week's show around creativity and bravery, we have a new show, we have a different show based on the bravery of some incredible people. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to do them injustice, but I'm very, very pleased to introduce Justice First. Justice First is a charity based in Stockton who have a very meaningful mission and vision. Their vision is a society based on tradition of welcome, acceptance, and dignity for those who seek safety in the UK. For me, that rings very much, and I'm very excited to bring you today's show. To begin with, I'm going to put the poll on your screen. The poll will help us understand how you feel now. If you're joining through Facebook, feel free to comment below. If you're joining us from Zoom, you will see that there is a chat function. Throughout tonight's performance, please feel free to share your feelings, how you might feel now, how you might feel, how the music might make you feel, or any memories that they may provoke. Last few seconds for the poll, and then we'll begin our show. Great, thank you very much. To begin with, I'd like to introduce Katharine Ramos. Katharine is a professional interpreter and translator. She's a member of the Chartered Institute of Linguistics. As a result of her work as an asylum interpreter for refugees and asylum seekers in the Tees Valley and Training Community Interpreters, she joined the Justice First Steering Committee in 2006. She is a passionate advocate for the rights for those who have been returned to the countries where their lives are unsafe, in particular the Democratic Republic of Congo. So without further ado, I'll pass you over in the capable hands of Katharine.
Eleanor Roosevelt posed the question, where, after all, do universal rights begin? She answered, in small places close to home. So close and so small, they cannot be seen on any map of the world. Justice First is that small place close to home, which cannot be seen on any map of the world. Yet all over the world, engraved on the hearts and minds of men and women, you will find the name of Justice First and the names of our staff and volunteers. The names of those who supported them towards a successful application for asylum or an eventual refusal of protection. I know that in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Cameroon, for example, there are people who treasure memories of Justice First and the Teessiders who supported them until that moment when they were put onto scheduled flights, charter flights back to their country of origin. In Kinshasa, I met some of our clients who, despite having been arrested and tortured on return, expressed their gratitude to all who had supported them here, especially when they had become destitute. Justice First is a unique charity. We meet our clients at their lowest point, when they've been refused asylum, when their story has not been believed by Home Office decision makers, who have little knowledge or understanding of the situation in their countries. Justice First enables our clients to submit appeal papers within tight timescales, saving them from losing accommodation and becoming destitute. We can look at new evidence they have received since their arrival here. We can put them in contact with a lawyer, or we can help them submit their new evidence. Our clients are resilient. They're intelligent, kind, with many talents. They're people just like us. We hope you enjoy the talents of some of our clients, volunteers, and supporters this evening. Strangers who came to our shores, to our airports, and who became family. And the first person I'd like to introduce is Aisha.
Hi, my name is Aisha. I'm from Guinea-Bissau, and I've been living in England for 7 years. I came in 2013 and I seek asylum. Well, thank God, I got my status sorted now, and I applied for the university. So hopefully I'll be able to chase my dream from today. So yeah, and I will be singing. I'm not sure if we're singing now or later. I don't know. So could you please confirm that now? Okay, now. So fine. I'm gonna sing a song that I always sing when I'm in the kitchen, because my country, I'm from West Africa, Guinea-Bissau, and the food and the weather, it's a bit different. It's a really cold there, and the food is a bit different, so we don't really get the food. So yeah, this song reminds me of home, reminds me of the weather, everything. And the song is about my country, Guinea-Bissau. Is a great country. It's talking about everything about Guinea-Bissau, and the song is in Creole. So the song goes like, Ya Guinea tudo para Cristo, minha oração, Nhagine com gosta dele, a mim dá-se-nha coração, ter sabe de fartura, ter aí de nha jorção. Senhor Deus, e dá-se graça, e abençoa também. Salva Deus é nha terra Guiné-Bissau. Salva Deus é nha terra Guiné-Bissau. Thank you.
I would like now to introduce Carlos. And Carlos is going to play the guitar and sing a song in Spanish. Carlos.
Hello. I'm Carlos and I'm from El Salvador. I've been here in England for 1 year already, and it has been a long time for me because the English language could be hard sometimes for a Spanish speaker, but the way I'm gonna sing a song which is called Deja que salga la luna. It's in Spanish, and I hope you enjoy it. And I have to say that I am fortunate to meet a lot of very beautiful people around UK, and thank you. I need to say thank you for receiving me, for the welcome for this country, and for receiving me with a warm welcome, and I hope you enjoy the song. Deja que salga la luna, deja que se meta el sol, deja que llegue la noche para que empiece nuestro amor. Deja que las estrellitas me llenen de inspiración para decirte cositas muy bonitas, corazón. Yo sé que no hay en el mundo amor como el que me das, y sé que noche con noche vas creciendo más y más. Sé que noche con noche va creciendo más y más. Cuando estoy entre tus brazos, siempre me pregunto yo que cuánto me debía el destino que contigo me pagó. Yo sé que no hay en el mundo amor como el que me das, y sé que noche con noche vas creciendo más y más. Sé que noche con noche
siendo tú. Más y más, y deja que salga la luna. Thank you.
It's my pleasure now to introduce Philippe Muriel, who's a great friend to us all at Justice First. Phil is actually a French national, so he is also far away from home. He's a musician, a songwriter, and an interpreter who's given his skills to Justice First on many, many occasions. And such is his compassion and dedication to the well-being of our friends who are seeking asylum in the refugee community that sometimes he forgets to charge us for his services.
They shot a man into the sky. The sun and stars became his bed. He saw the sunrise 7 times, and when he came back down, he said, "It is one world spinning round the sun. Wherever it is you call home, whatever country you come from, it is one. It is one. It is one. It is one." They shot a man in Africa at a time of rivalry and war. He had some dreams of a good life, but dreams aren't what they killed him for. Now people stand themselves next to the righteous, and they believe the things they say are true. They speak in terms of what divides us, to justify the violence they do. But it is one, a one world spinning round the sun. Whatever it is you call home, whatever country you come from, it is one. It is one. It is one. It is one. One, the deep blue ocean, one, the endless sky, one, the purple mountains, one, you and I. It's not a world of our own. own choosing. We don't decide where we are born. This life is a battleground between right and wrong. One way or other we are torn. But people stand themselves next to the righteous, and they believe the things they say are true. They speak in terms of what divides us, to justify the violence they do. But it is one, a one world spinning round the sun. Wherever it is you call home, whatever country you come from, it is one. It is one. It is one. It is one. One. The deep blue ocean, one. The endless sky, one. The purple mountains, one. You and I. It is one. It is one. It is one. It is one.
Hello again. I should have introduced myself the first time round. I'm Kath, and I'm lucky enough to work with wonderful people at Justice First. It's my privilege now to introduce my very good friend, Juste. Juste came to the UK from his native Togo because he was persecuted for his political activities, and he suffered terrible ill treatment as a result. One of the overriding factors that contributed to his distress was the refusal of his asylum claim, because officials at the Home Office simply didn't believe his story. This was not only a decision that could potentially have put him in danger if he was returned, but it was an affront to the integrity of a decent man. Juste was eventually granted leave to remain, thanks to a good solicitor, the support of those people in the community that cared about him, and his own courage and determination to achieve justice. He's now settled in Newcastle. He's married to Lucie, whose beautiful voice you're going to hear very soon, and they have a little girl, Naomi, and Naomi makes the best Yorkshire puddings in the world.
Hi everyone, I'm Juste. I know when Katharine was introducing what Justice First does, she said something about helping people at a lower point. And then she mentioned that when their case is being refused, or the appeal process is being used and there is no way that person could go back to the system or to the legal system. But the one thing she didn't say to you is what I'm going to tell you now. When my case was refused and there is no appeal to go on, I asked myself, this country is supposed to give me a refuge. And they can't believe on my story. The story is true. But because of the culture difference between UK and my country, the judge chose to use the easy way by saying, we don't believe your story. And there's no law against I believe or I don't believe. And then one day, it comes to the point I said, there is no point. If I go back, there is one thing which left for me, is to get killed, being tortured until I die. But the best way to do it is to kill myself. And then I was accommodated at that time in Stockton. And then behind my house, there is a railway where those speed train goes through the town. And then we have a little bridge over that railway line. And I went down there and I said, if I jump, the electrical cable will do it quicker. I'll be electrocuted and then it's fine, there's no pain. And I was about to jump to climb the fence around beside the bridge when a guy, I don't know him, never see him before in Stockton, and then said hello in French, bonjour. And I didn't reply. And then he turned, he said, what's wrong with you? In Africa, we greet each other. And why responding to my greeting? I just ignore him. And then he said, okay, what's going on? And I said, just go. And then straight away, I don't know how he knew. He just told me, don't do it. I know what you're going to do. Don't jump, please. There is a way. I know a person. They will find a way to put you back through the system. And then it's when my whole plan was canceled. And I turned to him and said, what did you say? He said, yes, I know somebody. If you want, I will take you to that person now. And I said, okay. And then he asked me, what is the problem? I didn't talk to him. I said, just take me to that person. And then he took me to Katharine Sainsbury, the lady who just presented me now. And I went to Kat's office and I told her what happened. And then the first thing she said, I believe you. And then she said, we will find a way for you to go back into the system. That is one of the lowest points you could see an asylum seeker being. But those things, Home Office is not going to tell you. It's only you people who are here at this particular time who will know about it. And I will ask you humbly, if you have a space to make a one friend more, to add your friend, make the asylum seeker a friend, and then you will be surprised. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lucy. As you heard Kat sort of introducing me, I'm Just's wife. So yes, without Kat, we wouldn't be here. Without Justice First, we really wouldn't be here. We've sat many a times together as a family and pondered upon our road, upon our journey. And Justice First is always somewhere in the background. And when that Justice First come alongside people like Just, through the years and through the tough times, we actually become a family and good friends. So we just want to say thank you to Justice First. I came as an au pair and I met Just through a college lesson when he was learning English. So that's how we met together. And I believe I have a recording. I've recorded a song for you. I believe we're going to listen to just in a moment. A song I have chosen, which has been dear to my heart, even back home when I was growing up in Czech. And it's only just recently, in a couple of years ago or something, in my daughter's school class, her music teacher has invited me for a lesson to share with children, to sing for them. And I've chosen this song and I sang it in Czech. And then when I finished, she took her guitar and started singing it in English. I was overjoyed because now I have both versions. And that song has always been deep to my heart, close to my heart. I've sung many songs for Justice First over the years. I don't think I have sung this one yet for them, just because it was all in Czech, and mostly I want to have some English so where people can understand the words. And this song I have chosen because it reminds me that we are all the same. We are, asylum seekers or wealthy people. We are all the same. We are all but sinners. So I hope you enjoy the song.
Oh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, on that day. Run to the Lord, Lord, won't you hide me? Run to the Lord, Lord, won't you hide me? Run to the Lord, Lord, won't you hide me? Oh, on that day. Lord, said Cinnamon, you should have been praying. Lord, said Cinnamon, you should have been praying. Lord, said Cinnamon, you should have been praying. Oh, on that day. Zdál se mi sen, že se nebe hroutí, zdál se mi sen o poslední pouti, zdál se mi sen, že všechno se beroutí v ten soudní den. Kam běžet mám, slunce rychle chladne, kam běžet mám, měsíc na zem spadne, kam běžet mám, moře už je na dně v ten soudný den. Stůj, nechoď dál, času už je málo, stůj, nechoď dál, míň než by se zdálo, stůj, nechoď dál, otevři se skálo v ten soudný den. Pán tě zavolá, má pro každého místo, Pán tě zavolá, jen kdo má duši čistou. Pán tě zavolá, sám nedokázal bys to v ten soudný den. Soudí, soudí, Páni slouhy, soudí, soudí, říšné touhy, soudí, soudí, výčet pouhý. V tom se probudíš, to byl jen sen. V tom se probudíš, to byl jen sen. V tom se probudíš, to byl jen sen, jen pouhý sen. Zdál se mi sen o poslední pouti, zdál se mi sen, že se nebe hroutí, zdál se mi sen, že všechno se beroutí v ten soudný den. Zdál se mi sen, já stojím na svém místě, zdál se mi sen, mé svědomí je čisté, zdál se mi sen, jen jedno vím jistě, je soudný den. Oh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, on that day.
we're now going to hear an account of when Pete Widlinski, who was our communications manager, when his father arrived in the UK as a refugee. And Kath is going to play a favourite piece of music of Pete's mother. His father, Pete Widlinski, was the communications manager of Justice First. His father was born in Ukraine. Pete has written these words about his father. My father was a refugee after the Second World War. My father, his brother, a cousin and 2 friends walked for 2 years across Europe to seek safety in Austria. I have the compass they used to navigate their way through the chaos and mass movement of displaced persons. After 4 years living in camps, living rough, working casually in forestry and agriculture, my father and cousin were chosen to come to the UK. Many Western countries had agreed to take a quota of refugees. Upon arrival, my father and his cousin were split up, and my father was sent to live in a refugee camp in the West Country for 3 years. As a former peasant farmer, he bought a bicycle and rode to various farms in the surrounding area as directed. During this time, he met my British mother at a local dance, fell in love, and after his 3 years in the camp, he was given £5, temporary status, and was free to make his own way. They got married, had me, and worked all their lives, my father in a hospital and my mother in a factory. They eventually retired to the south coast. At my father's funeral, he was 83 years old, my mother chose Acabilk's Stranger on the Shore, a favourite song of hers, and a poignant reminder of my father's arrival in the UK. On hearing this account, Katharine Sainsbury, the senior caseworker at Justice First, said she would resurrect her clarinet and play Stranger on the Shore for Pete and for his parents.
Sorry, Paris, I'm still in shock. I'm now very happy to introduce another good friend of Justice First, Stephen Ollis. Steve joined our team several years ago as a volunteer counsellor and made such a difference to the lives of so many of our people when they were in a very bad stage in their lives. He's since continued to support us. He's the organizer of our annual fundraising quiz. So there's a little plug for Steve's next event, but over to you, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Kath. I think I'm sort of to blame for tonight in some way, because I think the event, as you say, it does date back quite a long time to a tiny room in the centre of Stockton in the old Justice First building back in 2007, where as Kath says, I set up a therapy placement with Kath at Justice First. And that happened after I met some of their Congolese clients whilst working as a journalist. So I was there for three or 4 years as a volunteer, and as Kath alludes to, I have tried to get away from them since, but I haven't managed to do it. They keep kind of tracking me down and getting me to run fundraising events. So I will try and kind of block their email at some stage. I think there's going to be another one at Christmas, I think around the 19th of December, if anyone wants to join us. So yeah, I mean, the whole experience with Justice First was, one of the most important experiences for me personally. It was always a kind of humbling and bring you back down to earth experience. Every time you'd go in there, you'd meet some of the most resilient people and so much love and compassion, and people that are really hard work, all the opposite things that the media would like to portray people seeking sanctuary. It was all the opposite things, and talent really stood out, like the talents of people, be it through painting or writing or playing music. And as you can see tonight, the talent's really shining through. But then fast forward my life to 2017, and I took up a role in my last job in the trauma-informed care programme in our local health trust with Angela Kennedy and Paris, who are two of the organisers of these events, and Lynn as well, who's here tonight, which I also did for 3 years, so a bit of a pattern there. Then 3 months ago, I saw the man that's going to play next. He was doing advertising drum lessons over Zoom to raise money for Justice First. And I thought, why not get Johnny to play the Wellbeing music night, and he can then plug his lessons and get more people to come in. But I did not expect it to turn into this. I didn't realise this event was happening until last week. And it's quite a proud moment for me that two groups of people who've had such a big impact on my life have collided together this week. So I'm really pleased about that and excited to hear Johnny play, because I've not heard him for a long time. And the result, as you can see, is clearly fantastic, and it's been a really amazing and moving event. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the incredibly talented friend of Justice First, Johnny Voza Zola, playing the djembe drums.
Many of us attended drumming classes with Johnny. Even after years, we still couldn't really keep a rhythm, but he was a very patient teacher. We're so glad that you've joined us on our Justice First journey. And as we said, yes, we share dark moments with our clients, but we share so much more. They give so much to us, and there is nothing that makes us happier than to be invited to a wedding, a birthday, first communion, and see a room full of people, many of whom have cried on our shoulders, cried in our cars, and we see them settled with families, with a new generation growing up safely here. And I think we should all be proud of that, proud of them. And our hope is that those people seeking sanctuary who are arriving on our shores at our airports today now, that they too will find safety here.
Thank you for a beautiful program, Justice First. And I think it was beautifully summed up in the chat box by one of our very well-respected listeners all the way from Louisiana, when you may have read it. The music from different countries enriches the world. And you've really done that for us tonight. Very much so, because music, we've heard, you've shown us that music transcends all languages. It speaks the language of a love for our homeland and our families. And Justice First is certainly one family, no doubt about it. And I would love to ask Nigel about the musical journey via X System that we went on tonight, via all these wonderful musicians and speakers from Justice First. Thank you very much. Nigel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Great. What a lovely evening. Thank you for inviting us into your community. Sometimes as a citizen of this country, I feel quite alienated by where I live, by the values that seem to be emerging among the people. And so it's really heartening to be among the good people. Thank you very much for letting us into your circle of good, positive things. I'm talking about everybody involved in your Justice First project. So the emotional journey. Please don't be afraid. This is a machine. This machine is not telling you what to feel. It is not interfering with, the human processes of music. We developed it for medicine because music can help in medicine a lot in healing. And so ways of predicting how it might help people is what this machine does. And so this is what it did for this evening, which is very interesting. So the circles, the color circles represent our emotions. And the bottom of the circle is when we're most relaxed. And the top is where we're most excited. The left is the more negative emotions, and the right, the more positive emotions. So the first thing we see is everything is veering towards the right. We have lots of positive emotions. And if we begin with Aisha, we see that it's right kind of in the middle of energy. It's at a stable position, a natural position in our feelings. And incidentally, interestingly enough, Carlos is at the same level. That's really interesting because they sound like two very different kinds of music. But actually, if you think in Aisha's voice, there is a vitality. She tells us who she is and her love of life in her voice. And Carlos sings differently because he's singing about the moon at night in a kind of lyrical, quiet way. But on the guitar, he's playing a bolero rhythm, the one that Ravel, ripped off in dun da 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 dun da 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 dun dun. That's the rhythm. It came from South America, and he's playing that rhythm, which actually then creates a kind of vitality under an otherwise lyrical voice. So it ends up the same level as Aisha. Then we go up as you'd expect for rock and roll for Phil. There is an extra kick in that because of the nature of the playing, the sound, and the kind of singing that Phil does. Great. Then we go for Lucie, we go down a little bit because this is Cinnamon, more gentle song, and really beautiful to hear it also sung in Czech. I've I've never heard Cinnamon singing chant before. And as a speaker of the language, it's very strong. You know, Fin suddenly then, it ends with the day of judgment. It's stronger than the English. Beautifully sung. And then down for the most relaxed point of the English is Kath. Now, Kath, please don't be offended by this. You have to be complimented by this, because to get a musical response predicted to be so relaxed and so happy down there, almost inviting people to sleep, which is beautiful. That requires not just technique, but a great heart. So you can see and hear a great heart playing the clarinet there. That's what it looks like. And then what happened is with Johnny, we go right the way up to the other extreme to, you know, the powerful energy of Johnny's playing, joyful energy. And how wonderful it is that it doesn't stop, does it? I mean, yes, you get a groove going in rhythms, but then he doesn't let you go. A new burst of energy comes, and we're yet another place, and yet happier and yet more engaged. So what a beautiful shape for an evening, like a plow, up, down, and then right up, and a wonderful set of extremes of emotions. So congratulations. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So it's for me to round up. Wow, how am I going to do that? What an amazing evening. I'm so grateful for your time and energy, and what an amazing bunch of people we've had this evening. What it made me think of was the importance of solidarity. And I think as a word, I'm not sure we all necessarily always understand it. If you have empathy and you have action and activism, you get great compassion. And if you apply that to the interconnectedness of all human beings and apply that to groups of people, you get solidarity. That's what solidarity is. What an amazing charity. And maybe we all need some of that at the moment. We are all connected. There are people who are very displaced and without a home. Without that base, it's very traumatic. And I was reminded of the end of a poem by, I think he was called David White, definitely White. He's a mindfulness practitioner. And it's something about the greatest home being the sense of belonging. And that is what home is, when you know that you belong somewhere in a place with people around you that care about your well-being. Home and solidarity are absolutely intricately connected. So thank you for bringing that message to us tonight, Justice First. I'm so grateful for that reminder. And I think also, you know, as this emerging community, as we connect through music, we also see our interdependencies, and let's see if we can keep this going, that this is a platform for us to share the best of our human values, all of it. And my God, you've really shone out tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you again next week. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great, thank you, everyone. Now, I'm going to put the end poll onto the screen, which will help us to understand what's happened to us during this tonight's event. Whilst that on screen, you'll see some words that Kath shared with me, and they really struck a chord in me, and I'd like to share it. We didn't get a chance during tonight's show, so I'd still like to share it. Last few seconds for the poll. Great, thank you very much. I'd like to thank you, Katharine Ramos, Katharine Sainsbury, Carlos, Just, Lucie, Phil. Oh, there's a long list for tonight. And who else have I forgot? And Johnny for their time and sending the videos and sharing their talents with us. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you and good night.